From Abu Dhabi is alive tonight thanks to a determined mom, the government of the United Arab Emirates, and doctors at St. Louis Children's Hospital.
This collaborative effort to save a little boy's life is tonight's Fox File.
10-month-old Salah Azad was born in Abu Dhabi with a rare and potentially fatal genetic problem called surfactant protein B deficiency.
He has one mistake in his 3 billion pieces of genetic code, which results in his lungs not being able to work.
Salah's mom, Madam Amina Azad, speaks through interpreter Buddy Sultan. She tells me she was devastated by the diagnosis, having lost twins to the same defect.
I was very upset when I found out the other ones has the same problem and there is no treatments, but I just put all my hopes on God to find a solution.
The only solution for baby Salah would be a double lung transplant, something not offered in his homeland.
The reality for a child like Salah is that there's no place else in the world that he can come for a lung transplant than the United States.
And only a few centers offer them for infants. As Salah struggled for breath, his mother and his doctors searched the internet and found hope 7,500 miles from Abu Dhabi.
One of the doctors found out that there's in the United States, St. Louis Children's Hospital, they do this kind of surgeries.
Dr. Sessions Cole is Chief Medical Officer of St. Louis Children's Hospital. He tells me doctors at Children's, in fact, helped discover and identify surfactant protein B deficiency in babies like Salah some 20 years ago.
And also having been the first institution in the country to have tried transplantation to correct this problem.
And so saying no to a child like Salah is condemning him to death.
So Dr. Stuart Sweet, who heads up the pediatric lung transplant program at Children's, said yes. Last September, a private jet staffed with 3 doctors and paid for by the United Arab Emirates government flew baby Salah, his mother, and uncle to St. Louis. They made 3 stops en route to pick up more oxygen for Salah's ventilator.
The last one at Reykjavik, Iceland. It was a coordination opportunity of significant proportions because the baby was so sick.
The family arrived in early September and settled in to wait and pray for the gifts that would save Salah's life. There are strict guidelines for international patients and no preferential treatment.
A patient coming from the United Arab Emirates will get in line with everybody else. And the reality for a child his age is the line is primarily the line here. And he actually was behind everybody else here who was ready for transplant.
But 6 weeks later, 2 precious lungs became available. It was Salah's turn.
She said I was crying and I was praying at the same moment.
Salah was 7 months old when he received his transplant on October 16th. Everything went well. In the months since his surgery, he has continued to improve and even been discharged from the hospital. But doctors continue to monitor him closely. Salah was sedated for the latest test of his lung function. More good news.
He looks great. His lungs are working perfectly. And we're hoping to get him back to the UAE sometime in the next month or 2.
Mom is breathing a sigh of relief.
Thanks God that he's proving, day by day he's proving and he's getting better and better. Now he's playing, he's growing up.
Doctors here performed the first double lung transplant for Salah's type of disorder in 1994, so they are still plotting long-term survival rates.
We hope that he'll have a good quality of life for at least a few years to several years.
Right now, there's not enough data on transplants in babies this small to calculate a 5-year survival rate. But every day gives researchers another day to find a breakthrough. Salah may get to go home to Abu Dhabi later this month to rejoin his 3 siblings and dad. But he'll be back for a checkup in about 3 months.
Well, Tom, you say that Amina lost twins with the same problem?
She did. In fact, she's been through quite a lot. She lost twins with this same genetic defect, and then she lost a 3rd child, a toddler, that suddenly developed a fever, and before they could determine what it was, he had passed away. So she has actually lost 3. So she's really, she's determined to do all she can for Salah.
And so far, so good. It sounds like everything is going great for
Took quite a lot of effort to get through all the red tape, and between the 2 countries, they had help from the State Department, Children's Hospital, the UAE government, and it was quite an effort. And so far it's successful.
Cooperation. Tell a great story.